All right, so today marks my journey into the world of trinocular microscopes. And I didn't know which ones to try, so I bought 4. So we're doing Microscope May. Every week we're going to be taking a look at a new trinocular microscope on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So keep an eye out for the future microscope videos, and I may be giving away a microscope or 2 towards the end of the month. I bought all of these scopes with my own money. These are not sponsored reviews. Nobody has reviews for these things. I'm not too sure why. We have plenty of reviews for like Amscope microscopes and things like that. And I figured, why not do some microscope reviews? So here we are. I'm poor now because I bought 4 microscopes. So if you guys want to support the channel and you're interested in any of the scopes that I'm reviewing, I will have affiliate links to the scopes as well as any attachments or things in the description. Otherwise, I don't normally like to advertise this, but if you guys do appreciate reviews like this and you want to see more stuff, you can buy me a coffee at my coffee link in the description. So I think it's time to take a look at the microscope. We're in a new setup. This is the cheapest of the scopes we're going to be taking a look at this month. This is a $300 US scope, so really not that expensive for what it is. But with the sales that are constantly happening on AliExpress, this ends up only being like $250 US. I like how it comes in this little donut box looking thing. It seems like a bunch of these scopes come in this sort of style of box. I haven't opened this yet. So this is a purple microscope. You can see we've got a nice big plate here. This is going to be our base. It's nice that they do come with them if you guys don't have a stand already. But you can see we have a nice shiny purple stand here. So let's pop this to the side. Oh, I actually didn't realize this one comes with a ring light. That's really nice. Oh, this is just a catalog. I thought this was going to be a manual. So we can open the ring light in a little bit. Let's just get the scope out of here and we can take a look at that after. These are the little silicone eyepieces. These go over the eyepieces. You can see we've got little covers there. So we'll take a look at these again in a second. These appear to be like smaller eye guards. I know people have different preferences. And okay, I think this is just one big foam piece. We can put this box away for my cat to have later. All right. Wow, this is a nice looking scope. I love the purple color on all this. We've got a little hex Allen wrench stuck in there. So obviously here's the scope head. This is going to be our CTV adapter here. So this is for the Microscope Camera. They have nice packaging for everything. I like all of their little boxes that come with all the different parts. It's definitely like a surprisingly nice unboxing experience. I wasn't expecting that, especially from the cheapest microscope out of all of them. We'll take a look at this later once we get the scope set up. It looks like we have a bit of a cover for the scope. So if you want to keep it covered so dust doesn't get in it. This is a nice little mechanic bag. I like this. What is in here? We got a keychain. Hello. I like that. We also have a mechanic branded mask. Good to have, I guess. And then we have a little microfiber cloth. Mechanic microfiber cloth. Cool. So we can put these aside. This scope comes with so many little things. All right, this is a nice heavy bar, and my cat is interested in the microscope unboxing. You're gonna come help me unbox the scope? Actually, you're gonna eat this styrofoam, aren't you? Yeah, that's why you're here. You want the styrofoam. I've got a metal bar. Here, I have a new box for you over here. Look. Hey, I told you. No, you want the styrofoam. I'm gonna have to put you away, aren't I? No, go away. Bye, YouTube. So we got to get this attached to the base, I believe. Yeah, he's back already. You can be a part of the unboxing once I'm done with this styrofoam. So give me 2 seconds. All right, and we got that nice and screwed in. And you can see it's got this nice little ring that goes up. I'm almost done. I just have to take the scope out of the styrofoam and then you can hang out all you want. Go away for now. And then we've got this thing, which is also nicely built, metal as well. And there's nice big knobs here for the distance from the table to raise and lower the scope. We've also got a big shield on the front here. I'm not too sure what this is. I guess this is just like a QC thing. So this goes right onto here. So you can see this ring allows you to leave this loosened and sort of swivel the scope around if you want. You can also sort of partially tighten this so it's has a little bit of friction. I have to say these focus knobs feel very, very nice. Satisfying to turn. So here's the microscope head. So this thing is plastic here. It's beautiful purple on this scope, but it's definitely got some heft to it still. And I think if this were all metal, the thing would be extremely heavy. So I'm curious if any of the scopes I have will opt to use metal for the body. If we zoom into this, you can see it says 0.65 all the way up to 6 here. This is the 6.5 times to 60 times zoom level that we have. And this zoom actually clicks at these different levels. So we've got a nice little satisfying click at all the different zoom levels. And at the bottom here, this is metal actually. So this is plastic, but this thing here is metal. We've got our little lenses at the bottom there, and we can get this guy installed right away. So this is gonna protect the lenses inside there from solder and fumes and stuff. I also have this Barlow lens that we're gonna try out. I bought this separately. This is gonna increase our working distance, but we'll get to that later. Up here we have our mount for the camera. So this, I think, we need to loosen before we take off this little bit of plastic to mount the camera on there. And you can see you can rotate these guys here to adjust the pupil distance. So different people's eyes are different distances apart. So we can bring this over here and pop this guy in the stand. So again, we can kind of leave this loose if we want to so that it rotates a little bit. And this is just gonna allow us more flexibility with exactly where the scope is on the desk. All right, and finally, we have our little eyepieces here. So these are 10x over 25 eyepieces. This means that it's going to multiply the zoom on the scope by 10. So that's why instead of 0.65 up to 6 times zoom, we're actually getting 6.5 up to 60 times zoom. And the 25 is sort of the field of view. Cheaper scopes are gonna often come with like 10x over 23. I think 10x is very, very standard for eyepieces, but 25 is actually a relatively nice field of view on the lenses. So we're gonna get like a nice wide picture apparently. Again, haven't ever tried optical scopes, so we're gonna see together today. So here's our little eyepiece. WF just means wide field instead of plan. So there are PL lenses. We're gonna be taking a look at some microscopes that have PL lenses later on. Wide field essentially compared to plan lenses are going to be sharp in the center and a little bit less sharp around the edges, whereas plan lenses are going to sort of correct the focus in a sense, and it's going to make the entire thing sharp looking. WF lenses are going to be what you see on most scopes. So let's pop this guy out here and we can pop in our lens. Cool, so this is on there nicely and you can adjust the little focus and we'll do that in a moment. Let's grab the other one out. We're gonna pop this in here as well. Cool, so we're gonna be able to adjust the focus there and then pop these guys on when we're ready. Next, we have the little microscope camera adapter here. This is going to be, I believe, a 0.5. Oh no, this is a 0.45x. So if you just pop the camera directly on here, you're gonna have all kinds of issues. Number one, you're gonna have focus problems. And number two, it's going to be like too restricted of a view. You're gonna have black borders around your picture. So this 0.45x essentially allows the camera to have a more reasonable view. Hello, Anakin. How are we doing? Styrofoam's away now, so you're welcome to chill. Okay, see, this doesn't screw on, so this goes in and then we tighten the Allen key down again. This is where we're gonna mount our camera. This is a C mount, I believe. And then this is going to be a little focus ring here that we can use to focus the camera, somewhat separately from the focus of the actual scope itself. And let's open our little ring light as well. You can see what's in here. It looks like this is USB powered. All right, so you can see we've got our little microscope light here. Looks like we have a little power button on the front. I don't know if that's just capacitive touch. Looks like it is. It doesn't click. All right, and this is very bright. Nice. Wow. I don't know if there's a brightness control on this. I take it back. You can press and hold the power button and change the brightness. All right, so I say let's set up the digital camera first before we actually try out the optics. I'm very curious to see how it looks. I still haven't looked in this yet. All right, so I have my Heyer HY5299 microscope camera here. I'll have a link to this in the description. This thing is a beautiful 4K microscope camera for like a really decent price. We're just gonna go ahead and screw this on the top. This fits really nicely. So we can use this thing up here to adjust the focus of the camera, but obviously the scope itself has to be somewhat in focus for this to work. So you can see here, now it's in focus, and now this sort of adjustment wheel makes a little bit more sense. One of the nice parts about this scope is that you can use the camera and the actual lenses themselves at the same time. Some microscopes, however, have a little lever or something where you pull it, and it's going to either allow you to only see through both the lenses and not the camera, or only see through the camera and not both lenses. Oftentimes, it's just going to turn off one side. So in this case, and in all of the scopes I bought for the month, the camera is going to work at the same time as both of the lenses. All right, so first we need to line up this little dot here on each of the lenses with the 0 on each of these lenses here. So these are both on 0 now. Next, I'm gonna zoom in with the zoom knob here all the way up to the max zoom level, which is our 60 times zoom. And now I get to finally look in the lenses. So I'm gonna use this little ruler here. I'm just gonna look in the scope and tell you guys my experience, I guess. So I'm gonna have to adjust the pupil distance, and I can't actually see anything yet except for my cat on the table. I think because it's way too out of focus. So here, I'll show you guys what I see. This is exactly what I see in the actual eyepieces here. So I think I have to adjust this quite a bit down. I might even have to lower this thing here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we're fine. Whoa. Whoa, guys. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. That is mind-blowing. Oh my goodness. This is such a game changer. People are right. Like, I've definitely been missing out on this. Whoa, that's super trippy. I wish I could like convey how this looks to you guys on the screen, but that's just simply not possible. Both the optical clarity and the depth perception is like, I've never seen anything like that before. So I've been microsoldering for quite a while now. Soldering for about a decade and microsoldering for a little over half of that time. I'm so used to the digital scope, so I didn't expect this to be like that different, I guess, just because I'm so used to the digital scope. But man, is this like, this is a completely different world. I see why people swear by these. Okay, let me just finish this partifocal adjustment before I freak out too much so that you guys can see what I'm seeing on that scope. All right, so you guys can see now on the scope camera, the quality of the lens is very nice. Like, even with the same camera, the digital aspect of it looks honestly better to me than my other lens. So after screwing around with this a little bit, I think I need, for this particular camera, a little bit of space between here and here, or rather space between here and here. So they make little C-mount spacers. So I'm gonna get like a 20 millimeter one. We should be able to do a partifocal adjustment and get both of these focuses in sync. I'm gonna adjust these little eyepieces here individually. So they're both at 0 right now. And if I look in them, I can actually focus each eye separately. So that one is good. And now I'm gonna close this eye and do the other eye here. I feel like I'm getting my glasses prescription right now. And now, yeah, that is super, super clear. That's so crazy how good that looks. Wow. So zoomed in this much, we have like very little working distance. It's rare probably I'm gonna zoom in this far. I just wanna get an idea of working distance, you know, as is for the digital. Anakin, you can't be right there. You just can't. Thank you. Okay. So we have about 65 millimeters of working distance with this scope as is. I don't think that's what it said on the box. Okay, so it claims 100 millimeters of working distance. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so I guess without the protective lens and without the light, we're getting about 100 millimeters. So that's what this guy is for. This is a 0.5x Barlow lens, which is going to increase the working distance from that 10 centimeters or 100 millimeters to probably about like 150. All right, so you can see it comes like this here. The Barlow lens does fit the scope. Okay, so we're in focus now, and we have significantly higher working distance. Even with the light on, we get 150 millimeters of working distance. So this is very nice. This is about as much working distance as I had with my normal scope. So I'm gonna see if I can show you guys here with the phone camera. There we go. You can kind of see it in there. So this is about what I see visually. It's a nice big circle. It's very hard to explain, but it doesn't feel that small. You can see just how much of that ruler you can see. That's about 65 millimeters side to side. Forgive me, it is a little bit hard to stay in focus here. And then top to bottom here, also about 65. And you can see if I zoom in, it's not gonna change the clarity at all of the image. It's fully in focus no matter how far in or out I zoom. So really, really cool how you can zoom in without having to like readjust the height of the scope. I like that a lot. And the optical clarity of the scope is just phenomenal. And I thought honestly around the edges of the little circle there that we would see a more of a blurry view, but honestly, like it's very clear to me around the entire edge of that circle. All right, we could try these little eye covers now that we have our little eyepieces adjusted. I'm liking these little guards on the eyepieces because before I had to kind of hover my eyes over the scope, but here I can kind of rest them a bit more because they add space between the lens and your eyes. Yeah, that's very nice. I like these. It also kind of like helps to block out some of the peripheral vision. We can also cover up the lenses here with these little covers to protect them from scratches or dust when we're not using the scope, which I like. This is just such an impressive microscope. I don't know, everything looks so clear. This is making me really excited to try the other scopes that I got. My eyes are definitely having to get used to this, to be honest. Like, I can tell if I were to work long hours, eye fatigue is definitely going to be a thing, you know, because your eyes and your brain are having to do work to kind of put the image together for you. Let me go grab a switch motherboard because I want to look at some components and not just like some solder on a PCB like this. All right, so I have a switch motherboard here we can take a look at. Wow. That's just going to be so crazy to work on these with that level of depth perception. For example, this knocked off component, there's a little like end cap here that's still on. And in the optical scope, I can see it jutting out at me like in 3D. But with the digital scope, it looks like this. And I would see that way faster with the optical scope if I'm just sort of glossing through components. My eyes, after even just recording this video, are definitely a bit strained. Like, I'm having to get used to the optical piece of the scope. So I wasn't actually expecting it to set in that quick for me. I knew the optical scope sort of put a little bit of strain on your eyes, especially the cheaper ones. I'm sure you get used to it and build up a tolerance for it. Your eyes kind of get used to it to some extent. So yeah, this was somewhat of a life-changing experience for me, to say the least. Definitely not what I expected from an optical scope. I didn't think it would be that big of a difference. I knew it was going to be a pretty big difference, but it's really a big difference. I don't think I have the same feeling that other people do about the hand-eye coordination aspect of using your tweezers on the board and feeling like you're looking at what you're doing. Maybe I'll change my mind about that as I actually start to work on boards. It's more so just the optical clarity and the depth perception, which is like the game changer compared to the digital scope. I personally have no problems with, you know, hand-eye coordination on the screen because I've been doing it for so long. What I will say is there's definitely a less of a delay. You know, there's no delay because it's all optical versus the camera, and the capture card is going to have some level of a delay. But most of what I'm impressed with is the depth of field, and just the optical clarity is phenomenal compared to the screen. It's just like unmatched. Like, you won't ever get an image this good from a camera because it's your eyes. But really cool. A very welcome change. I'm very excited to start using a trinocular and to try some different ones this month. So thank you guys for joining me on my first impressions of this scope, as well as my first experience with an optical scope. It's definitely very fun. I'm very excited to start using this for the next week and to try some different ones in upcoming weeks. We've got the next one coming out again on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So yeah, keep an eye out for the next one. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.